Not all battles are fought with steel, are they? Some wounds cut deeper, leave scars unseen. We've all known those relationships, the ones that drain the life out of you, leave you hollowed out, a shell. But there's a way out. The Stoics, they knew a thing or two about enduring hardship, about facing down the darkness. They knew that sometimes the most courageous act is to simply walk away. If you truly seek wisdom, stay till the end. And before we begin, subscribe to AREV for powerful Stoic lessons that will make you unshakable. A Stoic man values his inner peace above all else. It's his sanctuary. But what if love feels like a siege? When every day is a battle, another betrayal? Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. You choose what poisons you. If they thrive on your turmoil, is this love or madness? You cannot find peace in a heart at war. You cannot build a life on chaos. If they are the storm, find the strength to walk away." Freedom. It's a word that echoes through the ages, isn't it? A word worth fighting for, worth dying for. Epictetus, a Stoic, taught that freedom is the ultimate virtue, and yet how easily we surrender it. Control starts subtly, doesn't it? A suggestion here, a demand there. But love should not feel like a cage. It shouldn't dictate your every move. If your partner seeks to control you, then they do not love you for who you are. They love the idea of you. A Stoic man does not bend the knee to such tyranny. He does not yield his freedom to anyone. Remember that. Tell me, what is a relationship if not a balance? A give and take, an understanding that two lives, two souls are interwoven. But balance, true balance, requires equality. It requires that both sides contribute, both sides sacrifice. If you find yourself constantly yielding, constantly giving until there's nothing left but the echo of your own resentment, then ask yourself, what am I holding on to? Is this love or a slow, agonizing death of the spirit? Seneca, a playwright, a politician, a Stoic, he wrote, "He who is brave is free." Find that bravery within yourself, the bravery to demand respect, to demand reciprocity. Do not be afraid to walk away from a table where only one side is feasting. Chapter 4. If they have no respect for your boundaries. Respect. It's the foundation upon which all else is built, isn't it? Without it, love crumbles, trust withers, and hope turns to dust. Boundaries, they are not walls built to keep love out. They are the lines we draw in the sand, the markers that say, this far, no further. If your partner, if they trample those boundaries, if they dismiss your needs as insignificant, if they make you feel small in their presence, then they do not respect you. And a Stoic man, he does not abide disrespect. He does not beg for scraps of affection where he deserves a feast of loyalty and understanding. Chapter 5. If you feel drained, not energized. Love, true love, it should energize you, shouldn't it? It should fill your sails with a wind that carries you towards a brighter horizon. But what if it does the opposite? What if every encounter leaves you feeling drained, exhausted, as if some unseen force is leaching the very essence of your being? Marcus Aurelius, he wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If being with them pollutes your mind with negativity, with doubt, with fear, then what are you really holding on to? Life is too short to spend it with those who diminish you, who leave you feeling empty. Find the strength to walk away from what harms you and seek out those who ignite the fire within." Chapter 6. If they use love as a weapon. Love is not a weapon. It should not be wielded to inflict pain, to control, to manipulate. Guilt, threats, emotional blackmail, these are not the tools of love. They are the instruments of tyrants, of those who seek to break you. A Stoic man sees through such deception. He recognizes emotional manipulation for what it is. If your partner uses your love as a means to an end, you are in a cage. Find the key and unlock your freedom. Chapter 7. A relationship, it should be a sanctuary, shouldn't it? a refuge from the storms that rage outside, a place of peace, of understanding, of shared dreams. But what if it's the opposite? What if, instead of peace, you find only chaos? Instead of understanding, only endless arguments, bitter recriminations, apologies offered without sincerity? The Stoics, they valued tranquility. They understood that a life buffeted by constant turmoil, by drama for drama's sake, was no life at all. Ask yourself, is this the life you envision for yourself? A never-ending cycle of conflict and reconciliation? Or do you yearn for something more, something deeper, something calmer? Chapter 8. Honesty, it's the lifeblood of any true connection, isn't it? The freedom to speak your mind, to share your fears and dreams without fear of judgment, of reprisal. But what if you find yourself constantly censoring your words? What if you're afraid to express your true thoughts, your feelings, for fear of triggering an outburst, a torrent of abuse? Seneca, he wrote, the first step to wisdom is avoiding foolishness. And what greater foolishness is there than to silence your own voice, to dim your own light in order to appease another? Do not waste your time, your energy in a place where you cannot be your true self. Chapter 9. Solitude, it can be a harsh mistress, can't it? But even in the depths of our loneliness, even in the silence of our own company, there's a certain honesty. But what if you find yourself more alone in their presence than in their absence? What if their silence is a weapon, their indifference a weight that drags you down? The Stoics, they understood the difference between solitude and loneliness. They knew that it is far better to be alone with your thoughts, with your principles, than to be surrounded by those who make you feel invisible, insignificant. If your relationship has reached this point, if their presence only amplifies your loneliness, then it is time to face the truth. The connection is already severed. Life, it is a journey of growth, isn't it? A constant evolution, a shedding of old skin, an embrace of the new. And relationships, they must evolve too, mustn't they? But what if your partner, what if they are content to remain stagnant, to cling to old patterns, old resentments, old ways of being? The Stoics, they believed in progress, in the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. They knew that to stand still was to invite decay, to allow the weeds of complacency to choke the life out of your dreams. If your partner shows no desire for growth, if they are content to remain mired in the past, then ask yourself, can this relationship truly flourish? Or is it doomed to wither on the vine of their own making? Values. They are the compass by which we navigate this life, aren't they? The principles that guide our actions, that shape our character, that define who we are at our very core. A Stoic man, he does not compromise on his values. He knows that to do so is to betray himself, to chip away at the very foundation of his being. If your partner, if their actions, their words, their very essence clash with your deepest values, then the path ahead is clear. You can try to ignore the dissonance, to pretend that it doesn't matter, but eventually the cracks will appear, resentment will fester, and the relationship built on a foundation of mismatched ideals will crumble. Fear, it can paralyze us, can't it? Keep us chained to situations that no longer serve us, relationships that have turned toxic. But what is the greater fear? The fear of leaving, of facing the unknown, of starting over, or the fear of staying, of slowly suffocating in a relationship devoid of joy, of respect, of love? Epictetus, he reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. Do not sacrifice your freedom, your happiness on the altar of fear. If the only thing keeping you in this relationship is the terror of what lies beyond it, then you are already lost. Find the courage to break free, to step into the unknown. There you have it. The signs laid bare. The Stoics, they understood that not all relationships are meant to last. Some are lessons, harsh but necessary. They teach us about ourselves, about our boundaries, about the true nature of love. If you see yourself reflected in these words, if you recognize the signs of a toxic relationship, then find the strength to walk away. A Stoic man does not cling to what harms him. He does not beg for scraps of affection where he deserves a feast of respect. He moves forward with wisdom and strength towards a brighter horizon. If you found value in this, hit that subscribe button now. Join us at AREV for more powerful lessons in Stoic wisdom. Until next time, be disciplined, be unshakable, be Stoic.